listening to Luck of the Draw Radio with your hosts Dwayne and Todd. So grab a beer, sit back, and listen to what these jackasses had to say.
All right, well, up next in the studio, I'd like to welcome lead singer from Radiohead, Tom York. How you doing today, Tom?
Wow, today we've got a great guy in. One of my favorite bands, the Sex Pistols, Steve Jones, is here to talk with us tonight.
Well, it's an honor for me to introduce to you, and welcome to the studio, Les Paul. How are you today?
This is really exciting to help for our 2009 New Year's party. We have all 4 original Beatles. Thanks for making it in, guys.
All right, our next guest has been a major influence on my musical career, and it's an honor to meet you for the first time. Henry Rollins, welcome to the studio.
Tonight we got a real different guest for us. It's not a musical guest. It is one of the WWF's finest, the Ultimate Warrior. Hey, put bugs down.
Well, I'd like to welcome to the studio none other than rap hip-hop artist, great Chuck D from Public Enemy.
One of my big rock and roll, just vocal legends guys I really like. We got Lane Stanley talking with us. Nice. Hello, Lane.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor to welcome in, straight off of tour, Johnny Cash. Well, hello and welcome to Luck of the Draw Radio. This is... What was that? It sounded like a boat.
Man, I told you, this is what happens when you put a fucking studio next to a light tower. It's bullshit, man. I mean,
a lighthouse.
Lighthouse. That's what I meant. I'm no sailor.
I had that in Ventura. We would have the foghorn sometimes. It's nice.
It's a Dos Equis light tower.
Not Dos Equis light.
No.
Dos Equis light tower.
Dos Equis Lager Especial. Yeah, that. And welcome to Luck of the Draw Radio, ladies and gentlemen. I am Stan Zing, and this is my partner in crime.
Hello, Todd Buggs.
Fill in the blank. That's right. Good. Good. Very good. We are starting our number 1 first show here, and we're going to take it slow, baby steps.
It might be a little difficult, but we'll get through it.
Our goal tonight is going to be. Bugs and I always like to, throw new bands at each other, so we're going to tell each other about bands that we have yet to hear from each other and let you, the listener, be involved.
Yeah, and hopefully introduce new music to new people and spread the love. Go out and buy their albums and enjoy them. See them live. See them on tour if they're still touring.
Yes, indeed. Because
and a bunch of self-promotion as well.
Selfish self-promotion. We are working on our a 6-song EP that we are going to bug you to death with in the near future.
I do believe that Luck of the Draw Radio, this show, as much as it comes out, it's going to be very much self-fulfilling. We're gonna have a lot of Luck of the Draw information about our band. We're gonna have a lot of information about the bands that we're playing with, any tour dates, things like that we think are important that people should know, as well as any bands that we happen to come across that we think that could use some more publicity and a little bit more FaceTime. So,
word.
That's my goal.
Yes. And
how are you doing, Dwayne?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm doing better than you. I think you had a late night, I understand.
A little too much whiskey, a little too much beer, and not enough sleep. But other than that, I'm feeling awfully chipper. I'm about 80%.
Outstanding.
I feel like I'm coming down with a cold, so that's another wonderful thing.
Yeah.
And the wife gave me that. She was sick first.
Oh, the love. The love is in the germs.
Sharing is caring. That's what she does. So, cool. Well, I know you have a band that you wanted to talk about, that you were, or an artist of some sort. And
Indeed, I do.
I also had one. Do you want to start? You want to?
I would be happy to start.
Okay, well, let's go with yours first.
Let's see. My first thing is, before Luck of the Draw, I had a band called Tiki DeVille. Mm-hmm. And once we got rid of a particular drummer, we started to have a bit of a revolving door, like many bands do. Mm-hmm. And I ended up finding this amazing drummer. He was used to play with Concrete Blonde, and but he was really upfront with stuff and what he was going. And actually, when I first met him, he was in a halfway house, so that was kind of awkward.
You couldn't practice in his garage then?
No. Couldn't drink beer. They were piss testing all those guys. Oh, well, so this guy, we start jamming with him. Amazing drummer, used to play with Concrete Blonde. And then he found a guy, guy named Chuck Gerlich. and he's actually the touring bass player for Alice Cooper. But this guy came in, played only one day with or rehearsed with us one day, to see if we wanted to play with him. And this guy just knocked my socks off, which unfortunately I think has tainted me to the point where I would rather play bass in a band. Not that I can play as good as him, but not hearing a fantastic bass player like him playing your songs is really hard. So
yeah, you can't go to another level with a substandard bass player then.
Exactly. And like this particular guy, he's just one of those working musicians. Like you said, he's with Alice Cooper on the road, and he also had a band called the Druts and the Barons as his most current. And I have a song from each of those bands. He actually plays bass with the Druts, which is like a power 3-piece, and then the Barons, I'm pretty sure he's just singing and playing rhythm guitar on. But really talented guy, and as far as I know, the music isn't getting out there.
Are they on a label or anything?
No
or
label, no.
So it's all self-promoted, self-done?
Exactly, yes. And the Druts is very Motorhead-ish. Like, I guess he was touring with Alice Cooper, and Motorhead was there on the tour with him, and he just kept thinking, man, there needs to be more Motorhead bands.
Well, I would agree with that.
Yeah, but he's got a great voice, big and ugly, just like yours, Bugs. Demands attention.
You said voice, right? There's a lot of big, ugly things about him.
Yes, the voice is what I was referring to.
Okay.
So should we hit that first? The song with the Druts?
Yeah, let's play a Dirt song, and then
I'm always saying it wrong. I think it's Druits, I believe, and I can never pronounce it. It's got two of those crazy little dots above the U.
Oh, the umlauts. Yeah, like Motley Crue and all that crap.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how you'd pronounce that then. Maybe it's Dierte.
The Dirates. I think it's close to Dirts because I've heard him pronounce it, and that's how it goes, but I can never fucking remember.
Dirts. Yeah.
Dirts. Cool. So here, let's light you guys up with the Druts, and this one is called, I don't even remember, but it's rad. So,
that's a weird name for a song. I don't remember.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say he was a good song name writer guy. Amazing bass player, though.
He's not much of a titleist.
No. Titles are way overrated.
Well, how long is the song?
The song is 2 minutes and 1 second.
Okay. Because I'm gonna run and grab a beer then I'll catch the end of the song.
Cool. As will I.
Cool. We'll see you. But
all right, here we go with the Druts coming at you live, ladies and gentlemen. Booyah!
Radio.
Look at the draw. Okay, cool. I'll race you for a beer.
Move me over, honey, where you gonna lie? Carried over fire, gonna light the sky, come on! Lit up like the sun, baby, shine it on! Get up on the snake, baby, get it on! You're like a bomb, baby, get it on! She's a jet taking me away. A precious cat, baby, I'm astray. Hey, hey. You're like a bomb, baby, get it on. Yeah. She's blowing up for you. Bury me with land. Hell yeah, little mama, won't you carry it to me? Lit up like the sun, baby, shine it on. Get up on the snake, baby, get it on. for you.
Things blowing up are always fun. So yeah, then there was the Druts. I can never say the name.
That was actually really cool.
The name of the song was Bomb.
Bomb.
Yeah.
That reminded me a lot of, I don't know if you remember old Number 7. They used to play Bar Deluxe and stuff like that. The guy Heath was the singer. Very, kind of looked like Black Label Society type guys, the big leather bracelets. And it also reminded me of Revolution Mother, Mike V's band.
Oh, wow.
So I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't hear as much Motorhead as I thought I was going to, but I really did I liked the wah and the guitar and that lead. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, real good musicians. They actually I found when I started this last band I had, Ultralux. I was playing guitar and singing, and I didn't really have a band at the time, so we went in the studio with a friend. The guy who produced it was playing bass for me, and then the drummer was this guy named T. Burr. Great drummer, does a lot of what do you call it? Drum teching for like Def Leppard and other big mainstream bands. In Excess too.
That'd be easy to
easy.
Def Leppard. All right, I won't go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the high road on this one. So the guy's an amazing drummer, and he's the one who he had playing him. And then that Chuck guy came and auditioned for Tiki DeVille, which I was amazed and wanted to do something with him, but the drummer for that band, he still got some issues with drugs and whatnot. So he's been in and out of jail a couple times since we met Chuck, and we've just never been able to take it to the next level as far as Tiki DeVille's concerned.
Right.
But
that's too bad.
Yeah, but I really like that band, and they're on MySpace, the Druts. So you should definitely check them out. I think they got 3 or 4 other songs on there. But I think it was one of those things, they kind of did it to try to get signed. It didn't, nothing caught on. It didn't catch, so it's a done deal band.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Yeah, and I think he's making real money with touring with Alice Cooper.
Right. You'd mentioned to me, I think once we talked about him it was a different circumstance, but you'd said that he was also the bass player in Billy Bob Thornton's Boxmasters?
Yes. Yeah, I know he recorded with Billy Bob, and they took him in to what do they call the Boxmen? You just said
Boxmasters or Boxmen. Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, so he's just an amazing bass player. Everybody kind of knows him around town. But he's got that, and the next band that he's also in, it's called the Barons. I'll play them after we hear from your band that you had chosen.
Okay, well, my the one that I had chosen, it's not actually a band; it's a solo artist. It's a guy by the name of Richard Buckner, and to be totally honest with you, I don't know how I discovered him. I don't know how I found him. It might have been something that somebody had just gave me a CD and said, "Hey, listen to this; it'll change your life." But I'm looking at the CD right now, and I can't even think of how I discovered him. But I was really glad I did. I like a lot of that kind of I don't know if I would call it sappy, but more like toned down acoustic, like heartfelt music. Oh, excuse me, I had to take a deep breath there. And I don't know, this guy just really struck a chord with me, and his voice is really real soft, kind of soft spoken. I listened to an interview he did on NPR one time, and he was real quiet and just very ultra polite and all that. Did a little research on him, found out that he was actually at the time I think he was living in like Brooklyn or something, some real rough city, but he would tour in a pickup truck, and then he would just have his guitars in the back, get to a campsite at night and just sleep in there. And I don't know, it was a real like a Renaissance kind of man, like just doing it all by himself. He had a couple of like 6 or 8 records out on a couple different labels and stuff. And then on the song that I had picked, it's off of a record called Dents and Shells, which was his most recent. And he had King Coffee, the drummer from Butthole Surfers, played on it, and a couple other well-named. I think the producer was a pretty well-named guy too. And I could look it up, and I'm not going to bother, to give out the names and stuff. But when I saw him at the Troubadour, I didn't know what to expect, because most of his records are either just him and a guitar or a full band. and met him at the Troubadour, and he was surprisingly large, like really big and tall and wide. And I shook his hand. He like dwarfed my hand, and I was just like, man, that's not what I expected. You know?
Wow.
And so then, you know, it's time for him to go on, and there's a regular, like a kitchen chair on the stage, and there's like 3 guitars and guitar stands and an array of pedals in front of him. And he would pick up one of the, like, he had a nylon string guitar, you know, classical flamenco guitar, and he'd pick it up, and then he would step on the loop pedal, and he would just do like a do 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 do, and then hit the loop, and then that would keep playing, and he'd put the guitar down, and you could still hear it playing. And then he'd pick up another guitar, and he would just strum like a chord over it, and then he would loop that, and then finally pick up the 3rd guitar. So now he's got 2 loops going in unison, and then he'd pick up the 3rd guitar, and then he would start singing and playing, and he would just close his eyes and just go to a different place, and it was just, it was amazing. Really cool. It was one of those things where you're like, for me at least, I was so taken in that the songs are over and like nobody's clapping because everybody's just like, holy shit, you know. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, we're supposed to clap, you know, and then you clap. But yeah, it was just amazing. And then when I was living in Wyoming, I'd go down to Denver, you know, often because it was fairly close, and that was the biggest hub where I could go see bands and stuff. Not many bands came through Wyoming. And I went down one time to Larimer Lounge in Denver because he was playing, and I don't know if I had my expectations set so high from the first time that I saw him that I was almost disappointed the second time I saw him. Huh. It was still amazing. It was still a great show and riveting, and the crowd was really into it. The Denver's got a really good art scene crowd, you know, so like the crowd was really into it, and he was good. It just seemed like he'd been touring for a really long time, and he was just getting tired. But so I don't know. And actually, you know, now that I think about it, I could play a song from another band that opened for him that night in Denver that I fell in love with that night. And I could talk about that after we talk about your second band.
Okay, good, no problem.
So then the song that I wanted to play off of Dents and Shells is Invitation. I think it's track number 3.
Okay, cool. We got that all queued up?
Yeah. And it says here, 2004 Merge Records. So it's been a little while since he's put something out. Oh. I saw an interview with him in No Cover magazine where he was talking about how he was living in Middle America somewhere, flipping burgers and like working in a kitchen, and he was just like, you know, he would do that every now and then. He would take 2-3 years off, and then all of a sudden he'd go back out on the road. So I'm not sure exactly what he's doing right now.
Huh.
So, but yeah, if you want to play it, Dents and Shells, Richard Buckner, the song Invitation.
Cool.
Talk to you outside in the open air, somewhere to take you to and watch you go anywhere. In here you never know I've been thrown before, I guess. Put the bones to use. I'm hoping that you'll find my door. Oh, come on, I'd love to talk to you.
All right, that was Richard Buckner. Very nice. Actually, I heard a little Frank Black from the Pixies. Do you listen to any of his solo stuff, Bugs?
No, I haven't actually, and that's something that
It's really good, man.
I kind of kick myself for never really getting into the Pixies enough, and then I know he had solo stuff, and I never got into that.
He's
either.
got like 3 or 4 solo albums, and a lot like that. Like I don't know if it's a bad thing, but it's like it reminds me of like a alternative country kind of thing. It's definitely got the country.
Yeah, Richard Buckner always did fall under the alt country umbrella. Like he got a lot of press when No Depression, that magazine No Depression, was out and available. He would get a lot of press in that, and yeah, a lot of people would give him that alt country kind of.
I hate to give
tag.
labels, but you got it. I mean, yeah, that's really. I'd be very interested to hear more of his stuff. That was Intervention. Was the song title?
I thought it was. I don't have the title in front of me now.
Invitation.
Invitation.
Yeah. Okay.
He's actually got a record. Let me see if I can dig it up. I pulled all his catalog out.
Yeah, that was a great pick, though. Thanks. I really like that.
Cool. Yeah, he's got a record that he was. The story behind it was he was touring, and he was he went to like a used bookstore or something like that, and found a diary from like some girl from like the 1800s, and I guess it's pretty wordy. You know, there's a number of pages in it. So he did a full like hour and 10-minute record, which is one track, and it's just him singing the diary, and he wrote music behind it, and it's really neat. Sometimes it's a little hard to listen to because it goes so long, you know. But it's still just the idea alone is pretty cool, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's called like Boot Hill or One Boot Hill. But yeah, he's very interesting and I don't know, inventive guy. Just the way he plays live even was just amazing to me. You know, the way he could do it. So.
Wow. Yeah, I'd definitely keep my eye out for that guy. And he has a MySpace that people can check him out on. Is that true?
He's on MySpace, and I'm pretty certain that you can get the brunt of his catalog even like on iTunes, and probably eMusic has it too.
Okay.
And some of his stuff was like cassette only when I saw him, and some of it was like crazy limited release. Like I made 10 copies of this, you know.
Oh wow! So he was like printing them himself. There's no label.
He was on Merge for that Dense and Shells record. Let's see here. Bloomed was on Ryko. Devotion and Doubt, man, that's such a great record. What is that on? I don't see the label. On Mead. So yeah, he's been on just a bunch of indie labels. But I think Merge was probably the biggest one he was on. That was the latest. That was 2004 or whatever. So he doesn't have a hard time, you know, getting distribution deals because he's relatively popular already, you know. So it's just he's the kind of guy that he just records everything on his own and then shops a label and says, "Here, put this out for me." So, but some of his stuff was definitely like he was doing on his own on tour just to kind of supplement for gas money or something.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Let's see. So should we move on to my next pick?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay, we're still in the Chuck Gerlich, amazing bass player, who ruined me for life as far as having a bass player play my songs. In this other band he was in, it's called The Barons, and this is pretty current. There's some story about two of the guys in this band were in the band called The Dig from the early 90s. Do you remember them?
I remember a band called Dig, not The Dig. But
I think it's Dig, D-I-G.
Yeah.
I put the
They had a record that had like an orange on the cover.
Yeah.
It was just like a circle, and it said Dig, and it was like an orange or a lemon on the cover, I think.
Two of these cats are from that band, and then I guess they were just friends with Chuck. He actually, the more I get to know him, everybody knows him in the industry. He's just one of those workhorse bass players. But this particular band, my impression was they did all the music and then they just went looking for a singer. And Chuck's usually known for his bass playing, but he's got a pretty rad voice too, like you could tell in the last song I played, The Bomb.
Right.
This song is called Head First, Visor Down. And I guess it's definitely maybe a little kickback to the glam. Like a tough, maybe, I don't know, you guys have to decide that one. But yeah, because there's a cowbell in it, so I think that's what makes me say
Awesome.
Yeah, you can never have enough cowbell.
No, I have a fever.
You do?
And the only cure is more cowbell.
Well, that is what you'll get, my friend. Coming at you, the Barons. Head First, Visor Down.
Awesome.
Let it roll.
You told me days of my youth were all wasted. I'm falling forward to nowhere, looking out for a higher time. But I had a key to the American daydream. Some say that it's in decay, looking out for the higher times. Only see forward, I can only remember now. Don't you tell me what isn't. Running headfirst and visor down. And I don't know where I go when I get pulled under. I only know to take a deeper breath. The end is just the beginning, or so they say. But I had a key to the American daydream. Some say that it's in decay, looking out for the higher times. I can only see forward, I can only remember now. Don't you tell me what isn't. Running headfirst and visor down.
that was the Barons with Head First and Visor Down, available on their MySpace page. And the connection of this band being Chuck Gerlich, bass player extraordinaire, played on both my songs.
He did the vocals on that?
He did. He just did the vocals. I know live he plays rhythm guitar, but yeah, on that particular one he just that
was cool. I liked a lot the choppy, the da 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 da. And I like the way the breaks were, instead of just flowing the chords.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely got some glam roots to it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they definitely toughed it up as much as you can a glam song. But I love it.
Not as much as like Steel Panther, but
oh, forget about it. We gotta get them on the show. There's some local.
That'd be funny. Yeah, we should talk to them. I went out to Vegas for my cousin's wedding and ran into Brent Muskrat from Faster Pussycat, and he's doing that band Sin City Sinners. And they're really cool. They're kind of that, reviving the glam thing.
Huh.
And every night they play at different places, but with the place that we saw them at, they have special guests come out, and they've had the drummer from Twisted Sister or whatever, And the night that I was there, they happened to have Annabella from Bow Wow Wow.
Oh wow.
And, yeah, it was really cool. It was neat. They did I Want Candy and another song, but
that'd be a fun song for Luck of the Draw to cover.
I tried to do that a long time ago, and that guitar part is so hard. Because it's a lead through the whole song.
Oh yeah,
yeah, and I just don't have the talent. Maybe we could have you do it on bass.
Yeah, I'll try to work on that one.
So you're saying that Chuck's got the band they have a MySpace page then?
Definitely, both bands I played have MySpace pages. They're both, I think, from what I can gather, this is them basically trying to get another record deal. Like I don't think the band actually plays out that much.
They're just shopping it, yeah.
Exactly. Real talented musicians. Because I think I said earlier, they were two of the guys in the Barons. Like, one of the guys' last name is Baron. And
okay.
They were both in the band Dig from the 80s, late 80s, 90s. And for a spell, real quick, I believe, Chuck and the guitar player, I guess the guy with the last name Baron, were in Jesus Loves Jezebel.
Really?
I don't think they recorded anything with them, but they were definitely jamming with them.
Was Jesus Loves Jezebel? That sounds so familiar, but I think Gene Loves Jezebel?
Gene Loves Jezebel. Oh, that was Jesus. Okay, yeah, Gene Loves Jezebel, sure. I don't fucking know.
I think you got Jesus and Mary Chain and Gene Loves Jezebel confused there, mixed them together.
Well, you know what I do got is a Dos Equis lager, a Special Al, and that's all good.
That could be the problem, too.
Yeah. What are you sipping on?
I'm just drinking Bud Light. Like I told you, I'm a little under the weather, so I'll blow into it. It doesn't quite have the same.
You can't blow in a can, you dumbass.
Yeah, I can. I just did.
Well, it shouldn't be done. There's a rule.
Yeah. Now we have parameters for this show, right?
No can blowing. Rule 1. There will be more to follow.
No blowing in the can, but then I'm not going to. I'm not going down that road.
Don't do it.
I didn't do the Def Leppard joke. I won't do the oral sex in the bathroom joke either.
Thank you. It's a tempting road to take, but let's try to be bigger.
Yeah, we got to keep this on the straight and narrow.
That's right. If we have any hope for getting on a Christian rock podcast, yes.
Right. Yeah, we've got to really tone it down for our Christian demographic.
Yeah.
Because we're big in the southern Midwest.
Yeah, don't want to piss off the Bible thumping fuckers.
No, the Bible belts. So is that all you got with the Chuck Gerlich and the Barons and all that? Then
it is. Yeah, that's it. I'm done.
Okay. Well, then,
who'd you have up next?
Nice little segue into the next thing. Then, well, we were talking about Richard Buckner, and I was talking about seeing him at the Larimer Lounge in Denver, and it reminded me that when I go see. Generally, if there's a headliner that I'm really into, I don't just show up at 11:15 and walk into the bar and just see the headliner. If I'm going to pay admission, I want to get there at like 8, and I want to see all the opening bands, and just drink a bunch of beers, and because you never know, like sometimes the opening bands are better than the headliners.
Oh yeah.
And it just destroys me so many times. Like, and even being in that position where I'm opening or we're opening for a headliner, and just our friends are in the audience. We're like, fuck, there's like so many more people that could come in, and they just want to see the headliner, and then 5 years down the road and 2 tours later, all of a sudden, we're the talk of the town, and they want to come see us, you're like, well, you had your chance,
Yeah.
So that kind of that gets under my skin a little bit, you know. So I always try to maybe it's because of where I come from. I always try to support the opening bands, especially when they're local bands. You know, if like a touring act is taking a local band, then I want to support them. So case being, when I went to see Richard Buckner, I got there early enough, and this band Red Cloud was playing, and they knocked my socks off, just blew me away. And their dynamics were just amazing. They were 4-piece, but they would play, you know, real quiet, whisper quiet, and then just go into thundering loud, and then back to whisper quiet. And they were, excuse me, I'm burping up my Bud Light. And but yeah, just the dynamics were great. The songwriting was great. Just the vibe of the room, you know. And you could tell they were a local band that they were kind of doing pretty good because the crowd was dancing for them, you know. And that had part of the reason why I was a little disappointed with Richard Buckner, because I think the first band, you know, blew him away. And plus the thing that I'd seen him, you know, 6 months prior at the Troubadour in LA, and it was such a phenomenal show, you know, that I my expectations of him were so high, and then my expectations of the opening act were so low that everything flipped, you know. But so yeah, Red Cloud, their singer's real tall, gangly guy, and you know, just got this great booming baritone voice, you know, and just commanded attention without yelling. You know, he just stood up there and was like, "You're gonna watch me, whether you want to or not," you know. And it was really cool. And the band was great. The guitarist was really, I remember the bass player was really cool too. He was real energetic, even though the music is very, you know, toned down and not punk rock or anything, you know. And so I was really taken by him. So after the set, I went up and I talked to the I think it was the guitarist, and told him, you know, if like you got anything recorded, I'd love to get a copy. And they're like, "No, you know, I don't know. I got you can go talk to the singer." So I go talk to the singer. Really nice guy, real soft spoken, you know, super polite, you know, just, you know, oh, great. Actually, what I said to him, I walked up, I'm like, I just thought you should know that you are now my favorite band. And he's just like, oh, I didn't know how to take it. He's like, thanks, you know, and just real polite about it, you know. And I was trying to be kind of funny, but it was true. I was like, at that moment in time, that was my favorite band. So he gave me a live CD that they'd recorded live at the Larimer Lounge. And it was pretty cool. And then he told me, he's like, in like 6 weeks or something like that, they're playing there again, but they're headlining. It's their record release party. So I'm like, perfect. So I went back and watched them for the record release party, and they were great again, and, you know, hung out with them for a little bit. And I bought the record. And since then, there was another band called Red Cloud. So they had to change their name to Red Cloud West, which I don't know. And they don't really play all that often. They, one of the guys, the guitarist, I think it is in that indie band, Planes Mistaken for Stars. And I don't know. I'd heard the name, but I don't know anything about them. And sometimes there's just not enough time in the day to get to all the bands that are out there. But they toured, and I talked to them via email. They were going to play at this place in Ventura, and then things got all topsy-turvy, and then they were on the road and they couldn't get a hold of me, and it was just, so I didn't get to see them again. And then as far as I know, they're not touring anymore or recording, but I think the singer Ross Emery or something like that, he's doing some solo stuff, and then the other guys are, you know, they all got bands. But the song I picked is "Can I Take You." It's the opening track off of their EP, or it's a full length record. It's just called Red Cloud, and I think it's great. You can get it on iTunes, and I guess we should just go ahead and play it right now then.
Cool. Let's light this candle.
Man, I feel bad. I'm not feeling well, and I'm on medication and all, and you're all energetic. I'm just not contributing to the show, you know. But next one, I promise, I'll be the guy doing cartwheels down the hallway. And you'll be the boring one.
Deal.
I can't imagine that. Okay, so then let's just roll Red Cloud West, doing the tune "Can I Take You." Enjoy. That was Red Cloud West doing the tune "Can I Take You."
Very nice.
Yeah, I like those guys. Saying before that, you know, just live, it was just so, I don't know, just, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so amazing just watching them, because it's just, they were all in like this trance kind of thing. Like just, they would go real quiet, just pin drop quiet. And the crowd would be silent, no beer glasses clinking, nobody talking. And the vocalist would just be almost at a whisper. And then all of a sudden you just get this deep baritone gutter wall, and then like the whole band would kick into this huge dynamic, and it was just I thought it was fantastic. I wish that they were famous. I wish I could see them on tour every year, you know.
Right.
And the whole record's like that too. The one thing, you know, this is so how much of a music nerd I am though. The thing that I just can't get over, and it just pisses me off, is when the song tracking on the CD is different than what's on the jewel case. You know, like, and that's the way they got like 2 songs out of order, and it just like, I don't know, it just pisses me off. But what can you do?
Pay fucking attention when you send your shit off to the printers. What you fucking do?
Yeah, that could be it. Because it's not like they just had random song titles on the back. They're in a list, and then it actually has the song "Car Wreck" as first, and "Can I Take You" second. But "Can I Take You" is the first song. So,
man, I was on a compilation album of Attack of the Hot Rod Zombies.
yeah, we were on number 2.
Yeah, were you on that one too?
On version 2, not the first.
Oh, part
one.
2. That's right. Okay, yeah, my Tiki DeVille was on 1, but I sent them a rough mix of the song we wanted to put just to see if we could get on it, and then they accepted the song. I go, well, good. I go, well, let me spend some money mixing it. So I dropped like $200 to mix one song, and then they don't use that one.
They use the original email,
They use the
version.
original one, and then I think the very last band isn't on the CD at all, and then one of the other
that's
ones
right.
is different.
They're credited and they're labeled, but they're not. Their song isn't on the CD at all.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to say anything bad about that label.
Nah, I don't either here nor there. You know, I mean, they obviously
They weren't
could
paying
use a little
attention.
bit. Yeah, they could, because I think the second one came out all right.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are on the second one that came out all right. I was on the fucked one.
I was at Viva Las Vegas one time, and there was a bunch of people selling CDs, you know, and the whole wares at the car show. And I'm flipping through, and then somebody's like, "Oh shit! Hey, check it out! Your band's on this," you know. And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And so then I think Ed went to buy it, and then he's like, "Do I get a discount because I'm on it?" And the guy's like, "You know how many times I fucking hear that?" You're like, yeah, you're probably right."
That's funny.
So I think Ed bought it. I still don't own a copy. I have a copy of the one that you're on, but I don't have a copy. And I'm on that CD too. Now that I think about it, because I played Lap Steel in that Dead Billy song.
Oh, that's right. They were on there too.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, that one actually they wouldn't send us any copies for, band members, so I had to go buy mine at Amoeba Records in Hollywood.
Yeah, we were supposed to get 10 copies. Like Ed had the whole deal worked out. We're supposed to get 10 copies and posters and all this stuff, and none of it ever came.
Yeah.
So, c'est la vie, I guess. They're doing a couple deals like that I've gone through, where there was a company that was putting out a calendar, and they wanted Pinup Girl for an online commercial, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was just like some guy flipping the pages of the calendar, and then Pinup Girl's in the background, and the guy's like, "Hey, come to yada and buy our calendar with all these hot girls and hot cars," or whatever. And super nice guy. Like when we were talking, everything was cool. And then our whole deal was he was going to give me like 10 calendars and, just a whole bunch of stuff. And then like February comes around, I haven't heard from him. So I sent him an email and I'm like, "So did the calendar come out or what?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's been out." I'm like, "Huh. All right." And I'm like, "Well, you gonna go ahead and send me any or what?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't get any?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "I don't have very many left." I'm like, "You know what? Whatever. It's..."
Yeah.
And then in all actuality, I never even saw the commercial either, so I don't even.
No respect.
Yeah, he said it came out okay, but I never saw it, so whatever.
Right.
So, alrighty. Well, you want to start wrapping this up then?
Yeah. Yes.
Show number 1 of Luck of the Draw Radio.
Yes.
With I forgot your name already.
My name is Stan Zing.
Stan Zig.
Stan Zing. Stan Zig. That's
Stan
right.
Zig, that's right.
I got that one from a band, Ultralux. We're in the studio, and somebody goes, "Man, you're sounding like Paul Stanley," which in that particular band, not in Luck of the Draw band, but in my band, Ultralux, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
I don't think Luck of the Draw would consider that a good thing.
I wouldn't know.
But they said you sound like a Paul Stanley / Glenn Danzig. And I like it because I love Kiss, and I like Stan.
Danzig's cool.
Until he got dropped on that fucking YouTube, he was my hero.
Got knocked the fuck out. I own quite a few Kiss records, just because I collect vinyl. But I don't listen to them. I have the 4 solo records too, with the posters that fold out.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
They come out in puzzle pieces, and you can put them all together and make one big poster.
When I was a kid, I had the Ace Frehley one.
That was that one, and Peter Criss, I guess, were probably the best-selling ones, which people were surprised about. But I think Ace Frehley's record sold the most out of all 4 of them.
That's the way I remember. And I brought it to a friend's house that we're going to hang out. You know, I don't know what grade we were in, but the mom was kind of religious, so she wouldn't let me bring Ace Frehley's record into the house. And she said, "Just leave it in the car, honey," and it warped. It warped, yeah. And then, I was so upset.
Well, maybe for your birthday, I'll buy you one. Because you can pick them up at used record stores now for like $6. I think they even remastered it and reissued it on CD too. So
yeah,
I think the biggest disappointment or whatever to me was Gene Simmons did a full Disney orchestrated version of "When You Wish Upon a Star" on his.
Yeah,
it's like, oh come on, how pretentious do you have to be? You know, like just fucking play rock and roll and shut up.
Right.
So.
Well, I don't know him a lot, but from what I know about him, that's pretty standard.
Yeah. The old drummer for Luck of the Draw, Chris, he had I don't know how it went, but his cousin or something like that was Gene Simmons' maid.
Oh wow!
And would like go to the house, had to like run errands for him, and like go to the bank and use the ATM and shit like that for him and stuff. And he had some stories. She would say there were things that were going on that weren't necessarily right.
Interesting.
So, but that's not Luck of the Draw Radio. That's Kiss.
That is not. No. But after talking about Danzig, maybe we should do a Misfits show where we just play favorite Misfits songs, and maybe get some people to send in some requests, because that's a band that is so pivotal. I mean, to me, they're almost Sex Pistol pivotal, as far as they did something incredibly different and rocked the fuck out of it, and everybody knows it.
Yeah, and I think that they've had a really good resurgence too, even though it's not the original members, but they're still touring and still still putting it out there, doing it all right, you know.
Right.
I saw them on Halloween, like it's probably about 6-7 years ago now, and it was at that I can't even think of the festival, but like X and the Damned played, and
I love the Damned, yeah.
And I went and saw, and I wasn't really expecting much, because I'm like, whatever, it's not Danzig, it's not, it's not I don't know, it's just whatever, I didn't expect much, and they were awesome. They were really good, and it really kind of got me fired up about them again. And I went home and I started listening to their records some more, and that's another band that I got a lot of vinyl of, but I don't listen to often.
Huh.
But yeah, that'd be a good idea. Maybe you pick your top 2 and I'll pick my top 2, or we'll have some listeners, whatever, email in and call in and tell us what they think.
Yes, and we have to make sure that all the people out there have our phone number so they can call and ask questions and give us suggestions.
Do you have that phone number?
I do not have that phone number.
How can we expect everybody to have it if you don't? I'll tell you what it is. It's 560-618-2847. You got it now, Dwayne?
I got it now.
Stan? I knew I was going to do that. You can edit that out, can't you?
Stan Zing, yes.
How about Dan Sing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paul Dan.
You want to find an edit point for that?
No. Or don't want to.
Okay. So 560-618-2847. That's the Luck of the Draw radio line. You can call that. It's a Google Voice number, so you can go ahead and just leave a message on that. I believe the limit is 3 minutes. So you have to keep your message under 3 minutes, or you have to call. If you have something that's 3 minutes and 1 second, you got to call twice.
But we do encourage heavy breathing,
heavy petting.
Yes.
And heavy metal.
Yeah. Maybe we should do a metal show too. We got all kinds of show ideas. This is gonna be great.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to doing that. I think this show was being the first show and all. It was kind of we're stumbling a little bit here and there, and like I said, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm not as energetic as I'd like to be. But I think we could really get it together. We could start talking more offline about themes, and doing like you say, doing a metal show, maybe doing a punk show, doing like I like the idea of the Misfits thing, and maybe even alt country, or we could both. A band that we both know that we like, Social Distortion or something like that. We could pick our two favorite songs and talk about that, and hopefully the listeners will get involved as well.
Yes, very encouraging of that.
And the best way to do that, 560-618-2847. We also have an email address. Do you have that, Dwayne?
Nope. I don't got shit.
I've told you that so many times. You can email Dwayne and I at. I keep saying your name, Dwayne.
I'm Stan Zing. All hail.
Why do I call you that? Man, that just doesn't make sense.
We've had a couple years of straight Dwayne.
I guess. Well, you can email Stan and I over there at wewantbeer@gmail.com.
Yeah.
That's it. So what's the email address, Stan?
It's Morse code in bottle blowing.
This has turned into a morning zoo show.
Wing zing, woohoo!
Wayne Zing? Well, if you're going to be Stan Zing, then I might change my name to Dwight Zombie.
Dwight Zombie.
I kind of like.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I could do a solo act, Dwight Zombie, and I could sound like Dwight Yoakam doing White Zombie songs. Do like country versions of zombie songs. Call myself Dwight Zombie.
I'm a big, and as are you, Dwight Yoakam fan. We should probably do a show on him too.
I got a crazy amount of. Well, actually, I probably have about 10 or 12 of his records. But I mean, I just got so much of that Bakersfield sound, that kind of country stuff. Yeah, we could do a whole 2-hour show on that stuff. That'd be great.
Well, cool. Looking forward to it.
Well, then we'll close this out here. I wanted to say there's a couple show supporters. Some of you may or may not know that I also do the show The Gospel According to the Barstool Preacher, and that's available on iTunes under the Subculture Collective umbrella. And there's a couple show supporters on there that I would like to slide over to Luck of the Draw Radio as well. One in particular is Bad Luck Designs. They do 40s and 50s inspired rock and roll tattoo, pinup, and hot rod theme type T-shirts and knickknacks and things like that. You can go to buddynoone.etsy.com.
Hey, Bugs.
Yeah.
How many rockabillys does it take to screw in a light bulb?
I heard 100, but one to stand next. No, it's one, but 99 to stand next to him and say that the old one was better.
That's right.
Yeah, you and your rockabilly jokes.
Fucking greasy.
So yeah, go to Bad Luck Designs over there at buddynoone.etsy.com, and I'll tell you what, he sent me a couple shirts, or he sent me a shirt, and it's pretty cool. It's nice. Swag. And another T-shirt company, Dwayne, Stan, you're familiar with this company, Flat Black Industries. What do you think of them?
I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
Free shirts are the best.
Well, you got to earn them.
That's right.
The listener's not getting free shirts. We got free shirts because we get. Oh, you're blowing the illusion, Dwayne, Stan. You're making it sound like.
I've entered the feisty mode of my beer drinking day.
Awesome. Sunday afternoon. It's beer drinking weather. It's actually beer 30, I believe.
Indeed.
But you can go to Flat Black Industries at flatblackind.com. That's where you can get. So basically what I'm telling everybody is to go buy T-shirts because T-shirts are cool, aren't they? Mm-hmm.
That's yes in bottle.
And then finally, some new friends of mine that I've recently been turned on to that I like what they're doing quite a bit. They're an online streaming radio called Real Punk Radio. So check them out at realpunkradio.com. The Subculture Collective shows, the Barstool Preacher, Wreck House Radio, and Psychoplanet Radio are all rebroadcast on Thursdays. So if you go there on Thursday, you can listen to some of the other stuff that I'm involved in. And that's all I got, Stan.
That's great, man. I look forward to doing it all over again.
Yeah. I think the more we do it, the smoother it's going to get. But
God willing. Yeah.
So maybe we should announce what the next show's theme's going to be, so that if people do want to email and call with their suggestions, they could do that ahead of time as opposed to after the show.
I say the next show should be about amazing covers of other bands. So like you have a band that does an amazing cover. Like off the top of my head, Dwight Yoakam did an amazing cover of a Cheap Trick song, I Want You to Want Me. So maybe we can go real deep for songs like such.
I like that a bit. I actually did a Barstool Preacher show one time where I just played all songs that were cover tunes. And I like that idea. That's a good one. So if anybody's listening and anybody cares, send us an email, wewantbeer@gmail.com, or call us at 560-618-2847 with your idea of what the best cover tune or the best artist that's done a cover.
Booyah!
And then we'll play it on the air.
That's how it's done.
Awesome. Well, I almost called you Stan. I had fun.
I had a great time. Bugs.
We'll have to talk offline about when we can get this together again.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
Cool. Over and out.
Signing off.
Luck of the Draw is out.
Perfect.